Stop for a second. History is not boring. It's unbelievable. Here are 10 real facts they never told you in school. 1. Napoleon was once attacked by a horde of rabbits. Okay, picture this. The year is 1804. Napoleon, the French emperor, is strolling through a forest near Paris when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a whole bunch of rabbits start attacking him. They were biting his legs, his hands, his face, and he couldn't get them off him. Turns out that the rabbits had built their nest nearby, and Napoleon had accidentally stumbled upon their home. So instead of running away, the bunnies charged at him to defend their territory. In the end, Napoleon got away without any serious injuries, but it was quite a close call. And I guess that explains why they say to be careful when you're playing with bunnies because... 2. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than to the building of the Great Pyramid. She was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, and she died in 30 BC. If you want to know how recent she really was, well, here's one way of thinking about it. The Great Pyramid was completed around 2560 BC, which means that it was built roughly 25 centuries ago. The invention of the iPhone, though, happened in 2007, which makes it just over 20 centuries old. So that means that the time between Cleopatra's death and the invention of the iPhone is less than the time between Cleopatra's death and the building of the Great Pyramid. Pretty mind-blowing, right? 3. In ancient Rome, urine was collected and sold. The urine wasn't just used for cleaning clothes because of the ammonia inside, but it was also used for cleaning the teeth and even for washing the hair. In fact, urine was so valuable that people would actually pay for it. It was collected in special containers and sold in public bathrooms and taverns. Sounds gross, but it was considered a luxury item back in those days. 4. In medieval Europe, animals could be put on trial. Okay, let me explain. Between the 14th and 18th centuries, animals like pigs or dogs could be accused of crimes and brought to court. There are records of pigs being judged for eating people's food, killing their chickens, and even destroying property. The animals would be tried in the same way as humans, with a lawyer to defend them and witnesses to testify. And if they were found guilty, they could be punished with fines or even execution. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it was a thing back then. 5. Einstein was offered the presidency of Israel in 1952. When Israel was offered the renowned physicist, he was visiting Jerusalem and he politely declined. He said that he didn't want to hurt his relationship with the United States, where he had citizenship, and that he was flattered, but he couldn't accept. Imagine if he had become president. How would history have turned out? 6. The shortest war in history lasted just 38 minutes. It was between Britain and Zanzibar in 1896. The conflict arose after the British received a letter stating that a new sultan had taken the throne and refused to pay the tribute that was previously paid to the British Empire. At 9 a.m., an ultimatum was delivered to the sultan, demanding that he surrender. But he didn't comply, and at 9:38 a.m., the British naval squadron opened fire, lasting only 38 minutes. The Sultan surrendered and the war was over. 7. In Victorian England, people took pictures of the dead. During this time, there was a growing interest in photography and people wanted to capture everything, including their loved ones who had passed away. So they started taking photos of the dead, both children and adults. The photos were often staged with the deceased person dressed up as if they were alive and placed in everyday settings. This practice was called mourning photography. It may seem weird to us now, but back then it was a way to remember and grieve. 8. The Great Fire of London destroyed much of the city in 1666, but killed fewer than 10 people according to records. The fire began in a bakery on Pudding Street and quickly spread, destroying over 13,000 houses and 80 churches. But despite the scale of the disaster, the death toll was surprisingly low. Only 5 people were officially recorded as having died due to the fire itself. Most of the deaths, if any, probably resulted from the diseases that spread as a result of the overcrowding in the city. 9. Ancient Olympic athletes competed completely naked. The ancient Olympics were a celebration of athleticism and the human body, so it made sense that the participants chose to compete in the nude. The first written record of this comes from a Greek writer named Xenophon, who described how the athletes at the 708 BC Olympics ran in the nude. He thought it was ridiculous and mocked them for it. But it was definitely a thing. And that's how the word gymnasium, from the Greek word gymnos meaning naked, was coined. 10. During World War II, a Canadian soldier captured a tank with nothing but a pistol. His name was Private John MacArthur, and he became known as Mad Jack for his daring actions. He managed to get close enough to the tank to fire into it, and the crew panicked and surrendered. He repeated this feat several times, capturing several tanks and trucks with only his pistol. Pretty impressive, right? Strange, shocking, and true. History is full of unbelievable moments. Which fact blew your mind the most? Drop the number in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more unbelievable history every week. Thanks for watching and see you next time.